This week on SportsPage, we take a look at wrestler Archie Williams and his season so far. We also take a look into track and field season preview, as well as an interview with Coach Kip Janvrin. That and more today on SportsPage. Hello everyone, and welcome to the University of Central Missouri SportsPage, your place for news and UCM sports around the MIAA. I'm your host, Jada Hill. The Mules wrestling season is wrapping up. I had a chance to interview Mule Archie Williams, ranked 7th in his weight class. Let's take a look. The UCM wrestling program is on the rise, and a big part of their success comes from the 174-pounder Archie Williams. I sat down with the Champaign native and head coach, Justin Ensign, just to see how Archie ended up here at UCM.
I went to a junior college, and I thought I was going to go to McKendree, but UCM offered me a scholarship, so I just came here.
We're recruiting him and D. Quince Goodman. We were kind of looking for some guys in the upper weights, and they were both at the same community college, and we were recruiting his roommate, D. Quince. He had sent, he was like, hey, my buddy, Archie Williams is interested too. And I looked him up and I found some film and I saw a tremendous athlete with a lot, and some of the film that's on there, he was beating some really quality opponents that, that are from this area that I had known. So it made it kind of like a no-brainer,
Archie told me just how he stays focused for wrestling. And Coach Ensign gave some insight on what makes Archie Williams different from any other wrestler.
I take it personal, so I just want to be the best, so that's pretty much all I think about.
He's pretty funny to talk to. He's always got some joke. But, as an athlete, he's probably one of the quickest guys we got, one of the most athletic. And, he brings a good attitude most days, so he's probably a pretty positive person to be around.
He even gave some advice to young, aspiring wrestlers.
Just work hard, and it doesn't really matter where you start, it's about where you finish.
Archie describes all the work leading up to his MIAA title.
A lot, probably too much sometimes. It messes up school, but it takes a lot of hard work. Just feel like if I do everything right, then nobody can beat me.
This has been Jada Hill reporting for SportsPage. Archie may be soft-spoken, but he does most of his talking on the mat. Let's shift gears now and look at UCM's track and field and how their season is progressing so far. Michael Frazier has the story.
The Mules and Jennies indoor track and field season is underway as they recently competed in their first home meet. Notable performances include on the women's side, Heaven Warner winning both the weight throw and shot put, Brittany Kallenberger winning both pole vault and high jump, and Kaylee Fox winning the 800-meter run. On the men's side, Marquise Jones won the 60-meter dash and Michael Golick won the 3,000-meter run.
The expectation, first and foremost, is for everybody to focus on getting better and improving. Secondary goals, we want to be able to find a way to get into the fast heat at conference, and ultimately we want to score at conference.
On the men's side, the team is coming off a second-place finish to Pitt State at last year's Indoor Conference Championships. Prominent returners include Kanesia Rayner, who was a conference champion in the weight throw, placed 6th in the event at the Indoor National Meet, and then went on to win a national title in the discus at the Outdoor National Meet. Cole Phillips is also returning after winning a conference championship in the pole vault and placing 5th at the Indoor National Meet. Despite this being considered a down year with key athletes such as Kellen Locke redshirting, the team is still optimistic in bringing home a conference title.
Yeah, I think it's always realistic that we could win conference, but we're going to need a lot of guys to step up. And, Pitt State is a really good team. They're really solid. They got points in every event, so it's finding a way to combat that, find a way to make sure that we get points where people didn't think we were going to get points, have some guys step up and make.
On the women's side, after coming off a team national championship in both indoor and outdoor, the expectations are high going into the season. Returners include Heaven Warner, who was a conference champion in both the weight throw and shot put. She placed 2nd in the weight throw at the Indoor National Championships, and then went on to win her 2nd national title in the hammer throw at the Outdoor National Meet. Another notable returner is Brittany Kallenberger, who won a conference title in the pole vault and placed 6th at the Indoor National Championships. She then went on to win a national title in the pole vault at the Outdoor National Meet. With losing key names such as Erica Kinsey and Madison Smith, it might be difficult for the team to repeat last year's success.
Just kind of see how the team is, how we work together now that we've lost a lot of our big-time seniors from last year, and just seeing how it goes this year. We kind of understand that it's not going to be about where we were last year. We don't have quite the team, but we never know. I mean, we could come back and surprise ourselves.
The next home meet will be the Mule Relays on February 5th and 6th. I'm Michael Frazier reporting for UCM SPORTSPAGE.
Looks like the track and field team has plenty more work in front of them. When we come back, Marquise Jones sat with Coach Kip Janvrin in our Coach's Corner segment. We'll also have news and notes from the UCM athletics and around the league.
I choose red to blaze my own trail.
I choose red to be with students and faculty who make me feel at home.
I wanted a university with a big picture perspective. That's why I chose red.
Why do you choose red?
Choose red.
Choose red. Choose the University of Central Missouri. Choose red. Can I do that? Is that allowed?
Welcome to Back to Sports Page, your place for news in UCM sports and from around the MIAA. Having looked at what the track season has been so far, let's go to our Coach's Corner with Marquise Jones and co-head track and field coach Kip Janvrin and see what he has to say about the season.
Welcome to the first edition of the Coach's Corner for our spring semester. I'm sitting down with the one, the only, the legend, coach of men's and track and field, Kip Janvrin. How you doing today, Coach?
Good to be here, Marquise.
How you doing? Just, first Coach's Corner of the year, we're just talking to you because you guys' seasons are coming up this Friday and then Pitt State next week, and you guys are coming back to the multi. I just want to see how you guys are doing so far in the season, preparing for those meets.
Well, everything's going well. We had a great fall. Very, very pleased with the work ethic of our kids throughout the whole year. Our throwers have been throwing, the sprinters are sprinting, jumping, and the distance guys got all their mileage in through the cross-country season. And as we've transitioned to indoor, gotten on our new track, that's been a lot of fun, and I'm really happy with how the kids have bought in and done the work. Pitt State having the facility they have, 300-meter track, hosting the conference, hosting the nationals for the next 2 years. We're going to see some phenomenal times on that facility. Obviously, in the past, we've went to an indoor facility that's 300 meters up to Grand Valley in Michigan, to Iowa State in the past. Now it's much more local. It's going to be so nice to be able to travel 3 hours to get on a great facility and to run fast. So we're looking forward to the whole season.
Okay. Also, with a phenomenal year last year, you've been in the coaching staff for 27 years. This is your 27th season with your fellow co-head coach, Kirk Peterson. And you guys are coming off an amazing year. You won in 27 years your first indoor and outdoor championship for the Jennies. And then you guys got your rings last week. So how does that feel coming off an amazing year?
Well, first off, last year was truly an amazing year. A miracle as far as we're concerned. We've never been a team, men or women, that have been in the mix to win a national title in track and field. And for a long time it was always Abilene Christian and St. Aug's were the dominant schools, and one of them's went Division I now, and St. Aug's had its up and down years and things like that. But we were fortunate enough to have the great assembly of athletes last year, not only the quality and the depth to get the job done, and it was truly a lot of fun. It was the coaching dream, and we had not only great athletes, great depth, we had great coaches, and everything really came together. And then what was neat about last Wednesday and getting the rings is there were some of those athletes that I had not seen since the national meet. And it was kind of a culmination. Let's all bring it back together and let's celebrate and let's get these championship rings and the meaning of what it was. And for those athletes, a chance to be recognized in front of some of our faithful fans for athletics at UCM and to stand up in front of the crowd. It was really nice.
And speaking of nice, you guys have a lot of All-Americans returning this year, and Brittany Kallenberger, Heaven, Kanisha, Blake Seitz, all those people. How does it feel to have, have those great athletes leaving, but they also come back to this program as well, but, keeping some of those seniors for like 1 or 2 more years, how does that feel?
Well, anytime you got a defending national champion returning, that's a huge bonus, not only for their leadership, but their work ethic, the drive that they have. And those people are leaders, not only by who they are, the example they set, what they do in the classroom, the things they're involved in outside in community service, and they're the full package. And the fact that our young kids are going to learn from that. Well, you know, if you look back at last year's outdoor national meets, we won, Lincoln was second, Pitt State was fifth. So those are three pretty powerful teams in our conference. And, you know, as we get going, you know, I'm going to learn so much about our team. I know we're going to have some very, very good people and some of our returning national champions and All-Americans. I know several of our returning athletes look good. What I really don't know is our new people. I don't know what our freshmen are going to do. I don't know who's going to step up in that crew. And what I also don't know is I really don't know about the competition. Yeah, I've looked at some of the Lincoln new people and some of the Pitt people have competed, the Emporia people have competed. I know our conference is going to be very good again. Our goal every year is to get in the mix of the conference championship and go to the national meet and perform at a high level. And we're going to do those things again. I'm confident in that. But whether we can win a conference title or not, it's way too early for me to tell.
When you talk about records, a lot of records were breaking last year, yes, across the board. What do you think could happen this year? Because those records are hard to beat now.
Well, obviously, the things that Erica Kinsey did last year, those are records that may never, ever be broken. I hate to say that. I hope they are. But the things that she was able to do were phenomenal. And obviously, for her to turn professional, that is her dream. And she's where she belongs right now. And are we going to miss her? Big time, definitely. But the things that she did, and you know, Heaven set several records last year that we hope she can improve on this year. Brittany set records that we hope she can improve on, and our 4x4 ran fast for the girls and the guys, and we just had a phenomenal season. And so many things just kept coming together and kept happening at a high level. And you know, records are made to be broken. Our top 10 list continues to get better and stronger, and our goal every year is for kids to keep getting better and dreaming big. And we hope those things can keep happening.
All right, I'm sitting down with Kip Jammerin. That's the Coach's Corner for our first segment of the year. Kip, any final words?
All my athletes, good luck.
Well, I'm Marquise Jones. I'm sitting down with Kip Jammerin. Thank you for watching Coach's Corner on SportsPage. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks for the info, Marquise. Coach Jammerin has a lot on his plate, and the second course is on its way. Now let's go to Reed Karsig for news and notes here at UCM and around the league.
Thanks, Jada. The softball season just got underway, and one Jennies player has already picked up an award. The National Fast Pitch Coaches Association named junior infielder Lauren Mabe to the Shoot Sports Division II Player of the Year watch list. Mabe was an NFCA second-team All-Region selection in 2015. She hit .414 for the season and set a single-season Jennies record with 82 base hits. The DeSoto, Kansas native led the team with 12 home runs and also drove in 37 runs while scoring 50 or more. In addition to being named to the All-Region team, Mabe was a first-team All-MIAA selection and NFCA Scholar Athlete. The University of Central Missouri Mules football team and head coach Jim Svoboda have announced their 2016 recruiting class. The class includes 31 high school student athletes who will be joining the program in the fall and 3 transfer student athletes who are already enrolled at UCM. Coach Svoboda was quick to praise his staff for their efforts.
I thought our assistant coaches did an outstanding job of mining the talent in their particular areas, and we hit all the spots that we wanted to in terms of positions. We really wanted to focus on offensive linemen. We got some terrific offensive linemen, and we did an especially good job in Chicago and Memphis, a couple of fairly new areas for us, but we're finding they have a lot of talent in those areas. But the foundation of our program is still the state of Missouri.
The University of Central Missouri and Majestic Athletics have entered into a 3-year agreement for Majestic to be the official uniform and training apparel for Mules baseball. The contract is to run from this year through 2017-18 academic year. Majestic is the only uniform to be worn at every level of baseball, from youth leagues to Major League Baseball. Congratulations to Central Missouri Director of Athletics Jerry Hughes, as he was honored with the Missouri Sports Legend Award from the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame as part of the enshrinement class of 2016. Hughes was honored January 31st at the University Plaza Hotel and Convention Center. A specially commissioned bronze bust of Hughes was unveiled and will soon be on display at the Hall's Legends Walkway. Stan Musial, Norm Stewart, George Brett, and Lynn Dawson are among those honored as Missouri sports legends. Hughes has served as athletic director at Central Missouri since 1983. His teams have won 151 Mid-America Intercollegiate Athletic Association championships and 8 national championships. Hughes earned his bachelor's and master's degrees from Central Missouri and was inducted into the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame in 2005. Kudos to Mules football alum Delaney Walker. Walker was named as a Pro Bowl alternate and eventually played in the game. And play he did, catching 3 passes for 80 yards, including a 53-yard touchdown. He led NFL tight ends with 94 receptions this season. He had 1,088 yards and 6 touchdowns this year. And one more reason to love being at UCM, you get to be first to see the Kansas City Royals World Series trophy. The Kansas City Royals World Series Trophy Tour, presented by the Missouri Lottery and the Kansas Lottery, made its first stop in Warrensburg at the Multipurpose Building Monday. Fans had the opportunity to have their picture taken with the trophy and with KC. The Royals Hall of Fame baseball character, word has it, there were even some St. Louis Cardinals fans in attendance. That's it for news and notes. For more information on the Mules and Jennies athletics, go to ucmathletics.com. Back to you, Jada.
Thanks for the update, Reed. After the break, we will take a look at Mules baseball season as well as our new segment, Central Side. Stay tuned.
Live with a human for a while and you get to know a few things. Like, I know she's actually not a morning person. I know she does strange tricks for no treats. I know that water makes her howl like crazy. I even know how the floor stays so clean. She's quick. But the one thing I will never for the life of me know is how she gets so tiny and inside that box. Natalie, how do you get so tiny?
Welcome back to Sports Page, everyone. Mules baseball had an interesting start to the season as they spent it in Houston at the Winter Invitational. Ricky Rivera has the story.
Mules baseball opened up the 2016 season down at Houston, but before that, we got a chance to catch up with Coach Kyle Crooks and 2 of his players to preview this season.
Well, new season, there's a lot of returners, so I think we know what to expect with a lot of guys coming back. And we have a lot of experience, a lot of seniors, but the expectation is very high. It's to be a successful team. Certainly, we started that process in the fall, and I feel like played a high quality, high brand of baseball and finished off with good grades and had, I think, the highest team GPA here that I can remember since I've been here.
This Houston trip is one of the best experiences of the year for the Mules, so we asked senior Dusty Moss what he was looking forward to the most.
Just competing. It's going to be exciting to see another team in another uniform because we've been scrimmaging ourselves since, October, September of last fall, and it's going to be exciting to see, what we're made of whenever there's another team on the other side of the dugout, and just the overall experience in Houston and playing in Minute Maid and everything like that.
The Mules faced 3 quality opponents in defending region champ Henderson State and number 1 team in the nation, St. Cloud State.
For us and for this program, that it starts with winning games against quality opponents down in Houston, and then continuing it to into conference play and into the postseason play beyond that, and into a regional.
Our goal is to go 50-0, and that doesn't start without winning game number 1. We've lost every game, every season opener since I've been here.
Mules have been facing the tough challenge of preparing for a season without a field, considering the stadium is under renovations until March 4th. So we asked Coach Crooks and his players, how do you get ready for a season without a baseball field?
We're lucky enough to have the opportunity still to use the indoor facility, and get our swings in there, and then have the football field, which is turfed as well. So it's not an actual baseball field, but so we've lacked the opportunity to scrimmage or to do some live pitcher versus batter things. But in terms of our preparation and in my time here in the past, it hasn't been too different, to be totally honest. We're extremely excited about the field and can't wait for it to get done.
Mules had no luck down at Houston, losing all 3 games by 1 run, but there were a lot of positive signs to build on for the rest of the year. I'm Ricky Rivera reporting for UCM SPORTSPAGE.
In our new segment, Central Side, Marquise Jones and Benjamin Eden take a look at some hot topics here at UCM and around the MIAA.
Business is booming like always. Welcome to the second edition of Central Side. I'm sitting down with Benjamin Eden for our second week here on Sports Page. How you doing today, Ben?
I'm doing pretty well, Marquise.
Now we've got another couple questions for you guys today. Let's get started. Over the last couple of the Mules and Jennies basketball games, how do you think the teams fare, especially going into the last home stretch of the season?
Well, as you know and a lot of others know, Kyle Wolf went down in that Washburn game, and that was a huge blow. He was doing pretty well, I heard, because I didn't get to go to the game for once, and he knocked down a few threes, but later in the game he got hurt, and they ended up losing that game.
Now, that's a big blow, I feel, for the team. And they're going a big away game right now. They got Washburn, Nebraska Kearney, Fort Hays, 3 teams they all lost to with a combined of only like 5 points. I think this is going to be a real test for them, especially with Kyle Wolf going down. That's one of their best players they have on the team. Do you think that they can actually make this MIAA tournament? They're sitting right now at 7th in the conference ranking.
Yeah, the MIAA is tough. We talked about that a little last time. You said how Preston Brunn said, welcome to the MIAA. And then they came back after that Washburn loss, a big loss. They let them come back in a huge they had a huge lead, and then they went down and came back, or Washburn came back and won that game. But then they answered with the Emporia State win.
And Kyle Wolf was out that game too. And Demaya Cunningham hasn't really been in the starting rotation. I feel like he's going to get back into that starting rotation. But let's talk about the Gins a little bit. They're coming off another win against Emporia State as well. Do you still think that the Gins can possibly make that way into the MIAA conference tournament, sitting at 9th right now?
I think with every game, they're growing stronger with the Ginnies. How kind of like the Mules, they had a few returners, just like the Ginnies have a few returners, and all the new players are starting to feel for each other and know where each other's going to be. And I think Coach Slifer's figuring out that rotation every game even a little bit more.
And you know they got Missouri Western coming up too, and that's one of the best teams in the nation right now, especially on the offensive side. Do you honestly think that the Jennies have a possible chance to go up against the #1 ranked team in the nation right now?
I think they do. It will be tough to be on the road, but you just saw that game just pass. Emporia State again took them down at home, one of the top teams, and that's back-to-back years now.
You know, shout out to Shelby Winkman as well. She's up for Point Guard of the Year right now. Hopefully she'll get that vote in and actually win that award. You know, we're all rooting for her in such ways. But do you honestly think that the Jennies and the Mules can contend for the MIAA championship title?
Well, I think so. Well, first, Shelby Winkleman, a dual sport athlete. She's been going nonstop all year. I don't know how she does it. But with the Mules and the Jennies, I think they definitely can give, both teams can give a run for the money for the MIAA. And like you said, the Jennies are kind of a sleeper team, and the Mules, the teams are starting to count them out, and they can also be an underdog now.
All right. Signing day was yesterday all around the country. You know, Florida State came up with #1 and Alabama #2. The Mules had some key signees yesterday as well. Going as a recap from last season, they were 8-3, and I feel like next season they will be one of the top contenders for the MIAA title. What are your expectations for next year for Mules football?
I mean, this past year, a lot of people counted them out before the season. A bunch of youngsters coming in. Fugate's first career start was this past season and his first season as the starter, and they were one of the top teams. They fell off towards the end, had struggled in the beginning, but they went on a huge run back-to-back seasons.
And then, you know, that Emporia State game, they played 3 days straight. That's just tough period with anybody playing one game 3 days straight, and we were up 24-0. They came back, tied it before the game got delayed. You know, they lost the game 25-28, but then the next week they had Northwest, and that was a game that they should have won. They lost by 4 points at the last second. And I honestly think that the Mules will contend to a conference title next year. They have the talent. Markel Smith, I think he will win the running back position over Ray Harris next season.
Yeah, Ray Harris is going to come back, and I know he's been working nonstop, day in and day out. I've talked to him a lot, and he's just ready to go. I saw him on the sideline. He might have been able to come back at the end of the season, but he didn't want to miss some of the games this coming season, so he just decided to call it quits last season and come back better and stronger.
And I feel like, you know, they had that freshman, they had Markel Smith as a freshman coming in and get that. He got so much experience coming in, and, you know, he built that roll up, and he's going to be so good next year. And then you have Justice coming back off that ACL injury. So I think the Mules are really going to be a really good team next year. Yeah, I really do.
Led by Fugate. And you said signing day was the other day. Watch out for a guy. He might redshirt. Hopefully not, because I want to watch him. Kobe Wilkerson out of Warrensburg. I called the games this year. And this guy is more than electric. If you want to compare him to someone in the D1 level, DeAnthony Thomas, maybe you go back to, he's an offensive weapon. He played running back for the Warrensburg Tigers, but he's just going to be a weapon all over the field.
I saw him play against Pleasant Hill also this year, and I think that was a great pickup by the Mules. And right now we're going to go to a quick commercial break. We'll be back with more.
I choose red for unlimited possibilities.
I choose red because my family is less than an hour away, but I still get to be independent.
I get to apply my classroom experience to my everyday life. That's why I chose red. Okay, that'll work.
Why do you choose red?
Choose red.
Choose red.
Choose the University of Central Missouri.
Choose red. Kidding, that was a joke.
Thanks everyone for tuning in, and we hope you enjoyed our program this week. Follow the UCM Media Network on Facebook and on Twitter for our upcoming schedule. For everyone here at Sports Page, I'm Jada Hill. See you next time.
Oh yeah,
you said that.
One thing.